Um, Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Valleycast. I know this is usually supposed to be a really fun podcast, but I do need to bring up something really serious.
Oh man, it's too early for serious.
Don't go, my hey.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
When the first time you did that, I had no idea what you were doing.
Don't go, hey.
And then I was editing it or something, and I was like, oh, it's the theme song.
Yeah, I'm not good with music.
It's very funny, though. It's funny.
Before we get into this problem I have, I don't understand how music works. Have we talked about this?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't understand how melody works. I don't understand how you can take a chord progression
Yeah.
and put a melody over it that makes sense. That it doesn't make sense to me. Does the melody have to always match the like note of
Yeah.
the chords?
Yeah, because like there are keys. Like let's say we're in the key of C. Let's say that
Yeah.
some Weezer song is in the key of C, and so you got to make sure everyone else is playing within the key of C. And
Thank
with
you for using Weezer as an example, as if I wouldn't understand.
if I said Queen or
No, what makes
any
sense.
other band, it's got to be Weezer. And I think and Owen tries to explain this to me all the time. Because one of the easiest ways to learn how to play music is to learn your scales.
Mm. Do re mi fa sol la ti da.
Yeah, the scales are all the different keys, all the different notes. And if you learn all the scales, then you can like basically play anything. And so that's why it's really important to learn how to learn the scales. And so when someone gets a guitar for the first time, yeah, you're just doing the do 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 do, and then you're doing do 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 do, and that's a different key, and do 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 is a different key, and do 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 do. And if you're in the no 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 key, then you can go like do 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 do, and then so you're in that key. And if you come up to the do 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 do, you can do 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 da do 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 da 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 do. You know what I mean?
Wow, that actually makes a lot of sense in some strange way. I think I
Yeah.
get it.
And so when you're singing, it's like for me, like I don't know anything about any of the musical like structure.
Hmm.
Like all of my musical abilities come from literally just hearing and then mimicking. And then
Yeah,
so
that's a
if
part of my brain I don't think is developed.
I think it's like, dude, you know what? It's as impressive to me when people like, because people they go like, oh, I don't really play the piano, and then you put them in front of a piano, and they're like, diddle-diddle-ding, diddle-diddle-ding,
Yeah,
diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. And I think some people just visualize things in a different way, and people just like see things, hear things in a different way. Like we were at the farmers market yesterday, and there was a live band, and they were like tuning or something, and one of them hit a note, and it was like dun. And I was sitting with Owen, and I was like, what note do you think that was? And unless you're like you have like
yeah.
perfect pitch, there's no way to like be able to tell. Like you can guess.
Do you think he knew?
No, he didn't know. Well, actually, he was like when you're playing jazz, like jazz uses A to tune up. Like they use the A to tune up. And I pulled up my garage band and I hit the A key and it totally was.
Huh.
So he guessed it, but he kind of knew it too.
Smart guy, I guess.
He's a smart guy. I can't. He tries to teach me, like, it's so funny that I'm teaching you the scales in sort of a
Yeah.
way because he's tried to teach me how to do it for a very long time and said, you can elevate your musical playing abilities if you just learn the scales. And I myself have never learned the scales ever.
Wow, and you can still play.
Yeah, I can fake it quite well.
Mhm.
And you know, and when someone says like, "Oh, this song's in," you know, the next chord you hit is B, like I know what the how to shape the chord of B on a guitar. And then they're like, "And now you go to an A," and I know how to go to A.
Yeah.
I know how to shape the chord of A on a guitar. But like once we get into, you got to do like a C diminished with a A
E
sharp
high
right
top.
after.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, brother, and I
The
don't know what to do.
Is there a difference between when you're say you're writing a Weezer song, to
Yeah.
just use an example, if you
Okay.
were to do like is there a difference when you're writing a song? Do you know whether you're writing a verse or a chorus? Is the chorus typically simpler because the chorus part, like you're going to change the chords or the key, but when people
Yeah.
say they do a key change
They
in the
do a
middle
key
of a
change
song,
sometimes. Yeah.
I've heard that can give like an emotional impact.
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah, because you're like you're listening and then you're like it's almost like a rising, like we're rising together and it's an elevation kind of a thing. Because
yeah,
you're doing like
yeah,
you're like, oh, here we go, we're going somewhere, we're
nice.
going. You know, music can, yeah, there is a lot of manipulation in music for sure. It really bothers me actually how music is used as a manipulation tactic in some ways.
Yeah.
Like when we watch those videos of like puppies, or like there's some video where it was like, we found a puppy, it was injured, and we took it in, and then we nursed it back to health, and now look at him, and he's like running around in the backyard and he's playing, and you're like, oh, this sweetie, went from this to that. And it's like the emotional journey works visually on its own, but then you put some fucking like
Mhm.
touching ass music over that, and then the waterworks start happening.
Yeah, don't do this.
Come on, it's like you're already manipulating us. What's the point of this? You're trying to get views?
Right. Engagement. Speaking of dogs,
Oh yeah, how's your boy? Uh-oh.
the thing is, there's a bond developing with this dog, with between me and the dog, that is not necessarily shared by my wife, who is keeping a healthier emotional distance.
That's good.
It is good for her, and
But
it
you
is
can't
not going to
help
be
it.
good.
You can't
Yeah.
help it.
Dude, this dog is like obsessed with me, which will make you feel
Okay,
nice.
so we're in the key of A.
We're in the key of A. And then now it's so okay. Yesterday I was feeling we had this bronchitis stuff, maybe because there's poison in the air
Dude,
or something.
same. There's some
But
cough happening that it
yeah,
won't go away.
it's horrible. And I had like excuse me, folks. I was Grace went to do hot Pilates yesterday, which is which gets in a room that's like 110 degrees with a bunch of other people in the dark, and they do Pilates and they pay them for some reason.
They're in the
And so
dark?
in the dark, yeah. And I was by myself
Why are you in
chilling,
the
and
Why are you in the dark? Okay, we'll come back to that. Keep going.
well, there's candles, there's fake candles, there's can't. So it's
Okay.
like a
So it's
week,
sexy.
sexy, yeah.
So hot means sexy. Hot, sexy yoga.
Yeah, hot, all women, smattering of gays, uh,
Sweating in the dark.
yeah, miserable, hating it. So she was doing that, and I was on the couch. I was like, I don't like my stomach doesn't feel
Uh-oh.
good, and I had that old familiar feeling of like, oh, I might have to like throw up, and
Whoa.
then
Yeah.
I got up and I kind of like got, I sat up straight, and then it started happening, and I couldn't get to the toilet in time.
Oh
And so I ran
no.
to the kitchen sink, and I vomited like a scene out of Ren and Stimpy. Like it was the most cartoonish, loudest
Really?
projectile instant, to the point that like like when you throw up and there's like one round and you're like, that's probably
I feel
done.
so much
Maybe
better and we're
will I
good
get away
now.
with just the one? Yeah. And then it goes, no, you still have no. And then another like shipment came out, and I was like almost laughing to myself while it was happening, because I was like, this is an absurd amount of like vomit. Like it looks like a B movie horror flick.
Oh my
And
God, dude, what happened?
I have no idea. And I was fine after that. Like, "Blah!" And then I was like, okay.
Were
But
you alone? Did Grace hold your hair?
she was in Pilates, probably holding some gay
Oh,
guy's
okay,
hair.
that's the
And
Pilates part.
yeah, and so I looked over at, and it was Brock, and Brock was looking at me like he'd seen a ghost. Like he'd never. I was
Oh,
like, oh, he's never seen a human do that, anything like
like
that.
what was that? He has no idea what that was.
And his ears were all like back like Dobby, and he was like on the couch staring at me and I was like, it's okay, bud. And for the rest of the day, he would like wouldn't leave my side and would like come
Oh
over and like
my
put his hand on my
god.
chest, and
Oh my
he got in
god.
my face and was like sniffing my mouth, like, did you see that, man? You shouldn't have done that. That was crazy. And yeah, now I'm like,
Adorable.
oh man, this dog is. And now if I take him out, he like stays by my side, or like if he doesn't have to poop, he'll like come up and sit and stare at me,
Oh
and it's just like,
no. He
ah,
wants your
crap.
approval. He's your best friend now.
So California Doodle Rescues, if anybody wants. Okay, anyway, that's all.
I love how you're like, it's California University. But anyway, I love this guy. It's like the information
Loving
is
it at California Doodle Rescue.
but the information is unclear because
For
you're
God's
like,
sake, yeah, California Doodle Rescue.
yeah, really, this dog needs to find a good home. Kind of build you need his rest, and I'm you know,
and going once, going twice.
Go to that
Yeah.
link.
Man. Anyway,
But this doggy's starting to fucking be like this big thing, this towering silhouette
yeah,
is my best friend.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, oh no.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Someone's just we'll find him a home. This is what happens. I didn't know. We've never done this before. I didn't know if there's like rules where you're supposed to not get bonded or whatever. But what am I going to do?
What do you mean rules? How do you do that?
I have no idea. I don't know how people do this on a regular basis where they're like go from like foster dog, because right now I'm like, it'll be fine, but it's gonna suck.
Uh-oh, here comes the vomit again.
Sorry, I'm crying.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
Dude, but yeah, I couldn't be a foster parent because I would just end up having 12 dogs and
Right.
and be like, I could never give any of them up.
yeah,
And I would actively or subconsciously sabotage any attempts to come and adopt.
Well,
or
already
take
I'm
a
like,
dog.
they better have a yard, and they better have a lot of room, and they better
They
let him
better
on
have
the
a big
couch.
comfy couch. They better let that boy up on the couch.
Better get him whatever he wants. He's a smart dog. He's so smart.
It always
Anyway.
bums me out when there's a family with a dog and they're like, you sit on the couch and they jump up to come sit with you, and the parent goes, no, off
Yeah.
the couch. And then I have to get off the couch and get on the ground.
Yeah, it's so rude, man.
They're telling me to get off the couch, not the dog.
Right, and then you poop on the ground.
And they scold me.
That he'll do this thing now, dude, where like I will tell him to get off the couch if we're eating, and now if I get food, he'll go off the couch automatically and go sit behind us on the floor while we're eating. Isn't that crazy?
He's a good boy.
Good boy. Anyway, we won't keep talking about it, but it's
What are you
gonna
gonna
be
do about this good boy, dude?
And Grace is like ready for him, like he sheds a lot. Not my dog. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Everybody's got their thing, man. Cause like, you know, I'm dealing with these cat chronicles over here.
Yeah, how's that going?
And you know, it's fine. There's just that like you know, and maybe it's me a little bit, you know, but there's that whole like being incredibly careful around them. Like you have to like very much navigate their mood in like every potential way, unless they want food or you got a treat or something, and then you could kind of like coerce them into a mood. But she'll come up on my tummy like in the morning, and she'll just like stare at me, and she'll like lay down on my chest.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. And she'll just stare at me, and then I'll like put my hand on top of her head, and I'll be like, okay, here we go. And I give her like some pets, and she likes it. And then you scratch that little part here that they rub their face on, you know? And they love that. And they make that little thing with their eyes closed, and they get like, oh, I like it, brother. And then you do it, and then you do that. And then all of a sudden there's like just a quick little,
Yeah.
like I'm the cat. This is my hand. And the cat, and you just be petting it, and then it'll just go. And then you're like, oh, come on, man. Why'd you have to fucking ruin this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And
Is it a love bite or is it a?
That's what I don't know, man. I don't know the difference anymore, because it's like it leaves a mark on my hand. So is that love?
Yeah, I don't know. With cats, who knows, dude? I don't know. I know Brock will do this thing where he'll make eye contact with me and like gently put his like mouth like on my hand, and I'll go no, and he'll go like he can't. He's like, come on. He like does like a silent like.
He'd be like, okay, fine, I'll chew the world.
Okay, fine.
I'll chew the breath air.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just, like, I just have never had a thing where like doing like a thing that is a reciprocal, like I'm doing something reciprocally. Is reciprocally a word?
I think so. We'll go with it.
Like just doing this thing that is like for your enjoyment and my enjoyment.
Mutual,
Mutual. I've never done this mutually beneficial thing that also has this air of danger.
Yeah. Hurt your feelings.
It hurts my feelings, and I'm taking it too personally, maybe, and maybe I'm being too sensitive about it. But I just am so used to dogs.
Yep.
And dogs, like, it doesn't take them long, even if they have like a shit demeanor. It doesn't take them long to understand that you're not a threat and you're not gonna like hurt them. And then next thing you know, there's this reciprocal love that doesn't have an air of danger. And I think that's just that's like, life is already like that. Like I could walk outside and die for any number of reasons. And but I'm out there to go get air and exercise and shit. And I'm trying to make it this reciprocal, universe thing happen. But I could die at any moment. And so, you try to alleviate the dangers involved inherently with doing all these things. And what you do in your own home is you surround yourself with things that are as incapable of hurting you as possible.
Yeah. Except for that one thing where we take animals from the outside world and keep them.
Yes. And there's this knife bag that we have.
Tennis ball and needles.
It is a tennis ball full of knives and needles.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's that tennis ball, knives and needles. Like, I didn't know it was there.
Yep.
It's literally like having a sack with sharp shit sticking out of it, and being like, that's my pet that I love.
Yep. Cute. See?
Look at that cute bag of knives.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pick it up. Don't touch it because you'll cut yourself. That's what it feels like. And again, part of it is me, Elliot. Part of it is me and my own fears projecting that onto this thing. But
not all of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's a wild fucking animal. I mean, it's, they inherently have they're apex predators.
So what I'll do is do sign language, which I don't know if you know this symbol, but it's like to let them know that you love them. It's your heart will go out to them. So you put your hand over your chest like this. Do you know this?
I think I have to,
do you know what I'm about to do?
Well, no, actually, but show me.
You put your hand over your chest,
and animals know this. Okay,
and you go real quick and harsh. You go, my heart will go out to you like that.
You bite your lip at all when you do it?
Yeah, you bite your lip when we're real angry. I did palm up for our audio listeners.
Audio listeners don't even need to know you did it.
I feel bad that I didn't really think it was a Nazi salute at first. Was that bad?
What did you think it was?
I mean, it looked like a Nazi salute, but I was like, surely.
I
came around because I was like, oh yeah, he did it again.
My stages of reaction were as follows. What the fuck? Like, first I was like, what the fuck? So it was like shock. And then it was like immediately followed by, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course he's doing that. And then the third reaction was, oh, I can't wait until really funny people have a take on this.
I'm glad you brought that up. The take I have found funniest so far has been, and I don't particularly think he's not my favorite comedian. His name's Tim Dillon. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
He's a big guy, and he's a very gruff dude. He kind of is in like the Rogan's sphere a little bit. But he did this take on it where he was like doing a podcast thing, and he played the clip, and he goes, "Okay, here's why people are upset about this. So they're upset because of that gesture that he just did there, because that gesture is a Nazi salute, and it is essentially Heil Hitler, and Hitler was a politician from Germany, and a lot of people liked him, a lot of people didn't like him, and that's fair. That's fair. It was a very funny thing.
So he's laying it out for everybody why this sucks so bad in the simplest possible way. The craziest part was just like the people going, "No, it's not. Come on, that's not."
Did you see the one where they posted a thing from Star Trek where it was like Spock doing it and like someone else doing it, and then the person got quote tweeted and they were like, "This is from an episode where they're transported to another planet and become Nazis."
Does that really happen?
I think so. Yeah, I think
yeah. That sounds like something that would have happened in Star Trek. But
if Joe was here, he would be livid about this.
Yeah, Joe would be like, "Let's change the subject."
He gets upset about Nazi salutes.
He's like, "I've got the top 5 best macaroni flavors that we could talk about." That was just a little zazz at Joe, but I love him. And he's so creative with those lists and stuff. And he's so creative with the like, let me bring this like moment that every single person can enjoy really quickly.
Oh yeah. Like, he's the opposite of Elon doing a Nazi salute.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you thought about making content? I was thinking about making content.
I try not to make content.
Yeah, I think we're all nailing that part of it.
What do you mean? Like
I was looking at this sort of like strand of YouTubers that like they'll do stuff that's like a video that's like Burbank. What's his name?
Okay.
You know Burbank?
Jordan Burbank?
Eddie Burbank.
Eddie Burback.
Burbank.
John Burbank. Eddie Burbank.
We got Tyler there. West Hollywood, but
we got there. Yeah.
He does a video that's like I ate at every Olive Garden.
Yeah.
And, like that kind of video where I'm like, it's really dumb, or like, oh, I took this like crypto class, or like I took this like hustle like bro class, and here's how silly it was. And I was like, what would be like Joe would be perfect for coming up with that kind of content,
absolutely,
like experiment or experiential stuff. But then I was like, I don't know, what would I do? What could I do?
Well, Joe could come up with it, and then we could collaboratively do it together, or come up with an idea together, the three of us, and then maybe make content out of it.
It's a crazy idea.
It's a crazy idea, but we could do that. We've had the ability to do that this whole time.
We're talking about, Grace and I were talking about that, of just like the making content and the kind of speed bump or the wall between making content and the way that people just like will still do it. Like we'll watch these YouTubers or like travel vloggers and we'll just be like, they're just out there like making content.
They're filming every aspect of their lives.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's this I feel really like I'm starting to feel nauseous considering just talking to you about this.
I see.
But there is a vlogger couple vlogging. They vlog and they do like, go out into the world and they film themselves doing every little thing. And
is this what's making you nauseous, or is it?
Well, I'm building up to it.
I see.
It's a particular
key of B.
It's the key of B. Yeah, it is the key of B. It's more like E minor because it's kind of sad. The minors are all the sad keys. But we have this VR group and we watch movies and every week, and we've done it since the pandemic, and it's really nice and creative and fun. We all just laugh and try to escape the crushing the crushing,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
the what do they call the hydraulic press that's just like
Yeah.
crushing us slowly.
Yeah.
And they some of them are really into this channel that like I really do hesitate to tell you exactly
Sure.
what it is because I really don't like it.
Okay.
And I understand why other people like it, but it's like the most useless content that exists.
Yeah.
And it's like essentially like this older couple and they go into Target and they'll just be like, "Well, let's check out all this new shit at Target." Sorry, let's check out all this new stuff at Target.
Thank you.
And they'll literally just like film the aisles
Mm-hmm.
with like zero commentary and just go
Grace
like,
called. Yeah, we have a couple that we watch like that does travel stuff.
yeah,
They're a very small channel,
yeah,
and we'll sometimes watch when there's like 50 views on it or something. And
yeah.
she calls them soulless pans because they'll do
Wow,
these
I love
pans that
that.
are like,
Dude, that nails it. That nails it. Because it's like there's no, it's like, it's pure mimicry.
yeah,
It's pure,
there's nothing to it.
there's nothing. There's no creative spark. There's no
Not even a
creative,
need for a creative spark.
there, right.
Not even a desire to have a creative
Right,
spark.
right. And there's no attempt at it either.
No.
Yeah, the absolute lack of desire for is what leads to it being purely like there's no attempt because there's no desire. Just
Yeah.
like you said, there's no attempt because there's no desire, and they get their 120 views and 140 views, and they just spit it out and they just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
And the content creation.
I mean, pot calling the kettle black with us curling, but
Yeah, but like
no, it's different. It's different.
It's the reason why it's different is because we're entertaining people.
Or
We might
attempt
not-
it.
we-
Like at least.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's hard for me to be like, oh, we're so good or whatever. And it's like I don't think we're so good, but I think that when we all are together, we really make like fun, relatable, funny shit because we're all the different archetypes, and it grabs all of the interest because we're all the archetypes, and we also like. We're also like entertainers.
We want that. It's hard. And
Yes, it's
there was a
hardwired.
time in YouTube, especially in our days, when it was like, it was a race to see who could be the most entertaining and who could be the most engaging. And now there is this genre of people where it's just like this, it's not even a factor in their content creation of like trying to make things certainly not funny, certainly not, and then you see a good one like Ordinary Adventures, I think does great work.
Those guys are great.
And their content is like spectacular. And you're like, you can do both. Like you don't have to be soulless with everything.
Right. But it's just like going back to the mimicry part. It's like there is so much good vlog content out there. There really is. And like that Eddie Burback guy, like that guy makes entertaining content and is rewarded for that.
Yes.
People watch it, and there's the part of it that's like you watch it because you're genuinely entertained by the content they've created, and then there's the other side, which is you're watching it because it's a car crash essentially.
Yeah.
And you can't help but look, and it makes you feel an inherent a bad feeling and a cringe deep in your soul.
Invasive too. I feel like I'm like, man, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? And also like who's editing and whose decision is it to edit this? And I'm the last person that would yuck on anyone's yums, and I don't want to like, because some people they've they participate in what is called, the kids are calling gooning, and
Oops, took a
edging,
turn.
and you know, but it's connected, trust me, because the idea is that, like, you know, you can't really get your kicks unless you're feeling this like cringe inside of you.
Yeah, yeah,
You're watching these things because you're trying to elicit an emotion out of it, whether it's happiness and dopamine, or it's like cringe, and there's that weird kind of like I can't, car crash, I can't look away.
Yep.
And so these channels that have 140 views, 120 views, whatever, that are literally mimicking a thing they saw that is really entertaining, but they themselves lack the ability to be that entertaining, and yet they still do it
Mm-hmm.
like clockwork.
Yeah.
And it's like for years. And some of these people that I'm talking about, they go on trips, they go on cruises,
Mm-hmm.
they go on vacations and shit. And again, I understand why some of my friends are really interested. They think it's fun to watch it. And part of it is they're laughing at it, and another part of it is that they're starting to love it because they watched it so much.
Right. No, and there is like I won't watch something and purposefully be like, this sucks and I'm enjoying it just to make fun of it or get that cringe. But there is a part where I'm like, why am I still watching this? Like, it'll be like a 40-minute video and nothing is happening, and I'll be like, I gotta get out of this, and then I'll find myself back there, and there is like a comfort food level when it's just like, you know, they're not trying too hard, you're not trying too hard to enjoy it. God bless you. Sometimes though, the views are incredibly impressive for the content. Like, it's not always a 1-to-1 ratio of quality and view.
Right. Because the system rewards you for consistency, because it's an ecosystem that relies on the user uploading content daily. And it rewards you for playing that game a little bit. And, you know, it's a little different now, but if you like do the same exact thing for 3 years, you're going to be served to people that would find that content entertaining.
Yeah. And it turns out it's me.
I just don't like, I need to know what it is in me that is so upset by it. Because on the one hand, it's like, I love it when people like troll people in a way that's harmless and it isn't hurting anybody. But it's purposeful, you know, like, so for example, these people will go into like a Target, like I was saying, and they'll just go into the like stationery aisle, you know, scissors, markers, paper, and just film like every item and just do this, like, no commentary, except every once in a while you'll get, oh, these scissors are kind of neat. And it's like a 37-minute video where they're like going through every aisle and not saying a fucking, like, there's no and it's like, for me, if I made content like that, from behind the camera, there is an intention to make you laugh and to annoy you with how grueling and annoying it is. But there's an intention to do that behind it. And
when it's genuine, it is.
Yes.
That gets under the that messes with your brain chemistry.
Yes. And what it does is it angers me. It angers me because it's
like, you can't do that.
You can't do that. You can't unintentionally think. But I guess the worst part is that they think they're making good content. And the views sometimes reflect that delusion.
So really, you're just worried about them.
Yeah, there is a worry. There is a worry, especially since there's a partner in this particular
Oh yeah, you gotta have the partner. You
And
gotta have the duos.
it's got to be duos, because imagine how insufferable it would be without some conflict or some.
No, if it was one person, it's too. In my experience, it's too sad.
Yes, it's too sad, and it goes even deeper into the angering.
Yeah.
What is the intention of this?
Yep.
But then it gets sad in a different way, because the partner is sometimes maybe a girl, and maybe one that is even further removed from the content creation world,
Yeah.
and almost has no interest in being on camera at all,
Yep.
but is like, because they're there and they're their partner, they're like forced into it, and
Yep.
it almost feels abusive,
Yeah.
because you can see this, like, I don't want this camera in my face, honey, type shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, now you get the popcorn out, because you're like, at any minute these fuckers are gonna snap and someone's gonna say some shit, right?
Yep.
So it starts to become reality TV, and I think the root of what bothers me the most about it, more than the like lack of intention or whatever, is the fact that they don't realize that they're being laughed at.
Are they though, or is that just you? And like, you're like, what if most people aren't laughing at them? That what if we're imagining that everyone else is having the same reaction? But what if we're the outliers who everyone else is just like, I just like having it on in the background. They seem really nice. I think that's what it is. I think
that's a little angering too.
it is. Yeah.
Because what is the relationship then?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the symbiosis? What are you getting out of leaving something on in the background and not paying attention to it at all, while someone makes this incredibly mundane, void of humor, void of entertainment content? Like, what is that saying about us?
We went through this phase where it was like this woman who does like house stuff, but like, you know, she'll like arts and crafts type things over the holidays, and she'd be by herself and she would do something like make a gingerbread house, but like it was just her and her dog, and she would do it during the day, and her husband would come over, and it's like she would make this gingerbread house and then she would just like be done with it, or like she would set up a fort like in the living room, like a really
Like a
put
pillow
like
fort?
like candles and like lights, and she would just sit in it by herself in the middle of the day filming, and then take it all down. And every day it would be like her doing this film, and it wouldn't be that good. It wouldn't be like Martha Stewart level. It would just be like someone who looks like I'll build a pillow for it today, but it's like not a good one. Like just to be like, not a bad one, but like I don't know how good they can be.
Is it because they saw someone go like, we're gonna make a cute pillow fort today video,
and then it's like a meme
that's like really good and structured, and maybe even has a team that's like, here's how we cut this, and it's just like, it's fascinating to me, and we're part of this, dude. We're part of this ecosystem, because we were doing source fed shit at the time when people still were like, what is YouTube? Like, how can YouTube be a business money making thing? How can an everyday person make money off of YouTube? Like that we were doing it when it was a curiosity rather than like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And so we were part of the ecosystem that led to everyday people picking up their, and of course, you know, phones all have the ability to make movies and videos and pictures and shit now. So anyone has the ability to pick up a phone and in their brain think that they're making content similar to the content that we made, that people before us made, people like Rhett and Link or whatever make, and family vloggers that are huge, making millions of dollars make. And it's so fascinating that there's just like, there's the anybody can do it attitude that's completely gone now.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah. What I'll do
ecosystem is, yeah.
when we're watching the ones that are like real painfully boring, I'll turn to Grace and I'll go, "This is your fault.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You did this."
Exactly. Like we know people, not only are we part of that ecosystem, but we know people who are directly responsible for this like really mundane.
Do you have something to say? You have something to say? You should feel pretty ashamed, but you feel pretty ashamed, huh?
And it's like seeing someone in their bedroom, which is, might have been a set that was lit professionally and like, with a crew of 16 people behind the camera. Mm-hmm. But there's just this one personality in this like really warm and welcoming room going like, "Hey, I'm here to be your friend." Like it made everybody think they were able to do it. And now we're like 10 years out from that. And we're seeing like crazy shit as a result of that.
It went from two like, and I do appreciate the part where it's like some people do it genuinely as a hobby. Like they are like not interested in like
being
for them,
famous.
Yeah. And I guess for them the fun is just like the filming aspect and like the I don't know what it is, but like it's not a big, it doesn't take up the real estate in their minds that it does for us.
And that's
and yet
safer.
They're making content because it takes up such little real estate in their minds. And then we're not making content because it takes up so much real estate.
Yeah, we got burnt out from making content because we were making content at a rate that was like almost impossible for a human to do. And so we like really burnt that out. Like the tire treads are gone. It's just like a flat fucking tire that's sliding down that can't be stopped.
Yep.
I do love that there's just so much fucking content out there. There's so much fucking content. Like I'll go to my brother's place for the holidays and he'll have on this guy that is just like fishing. Like it's completely silent other than the like ASMR. Like it's just a combination of all these types of like videos, ASMR, like unboxing, vlog, all this shit in one. But it's just so simple. It's this guy that's just fishing. He's got like a GoPro on his head. And then he like catches the fish and then he like quietly like cleans it and then like cuts it up and then puts it on like a little grill. And then like, he's doing it all himself.
That sounds great.
Right? It's really chill and calm and all this. He's using all this bespoke stuff and it's all like really cool looking and nice. And then he finishes cooking it and then he just like sticks a little fork in it and eats it and then just kind of sits back and just looks at the river and the nature and that's a whole video.
Yeah, it's nice.
And there's like hundreds of them and it's just like he goes to some spot, he fishes, he cleans the fish, cooks it, eats it, end of video.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, dude, that might be that guy's hobby. Because he just goes out fishing anyway and decided that like, hey, people might want to see this and might want to see how I do this or whatever. And I love that kind of stuff when there's like an actual like purpose behind it other than just like, here we are in this place that you want to see because you're not here.
Yep.
And it's just like such a strange. It's just I get a lot of mixed emotions with all.
I stumbled upon this guy who's like not exactly the same, but he was doing like a Japanese capsule hotel. You know what that is?
Oh, those are great.
Excuse me. And he would like it was all first person, and he would you just saw like when you go in, here's how you check in, and like here's like a lounge that you have, and it gives you free food, and here's the food. Here's me eating the food, and it's all first person, and then I'm going to go into my capsule. And I watched like 35 minutes of it. And I was like, this is great.
And
then at about 30 minutes in, Grace was like, should we watch something else?
And there's nothing worse than when you're watching it with someone else. And then they're like, you're like, fuck, I'm like feeling this. And the other person's like, can we fucking get the fuck out of here? Like I can watch 7 of these videos in a row.
Yep.
And just be high as fuck and sink into the couch and just be like, fuck yeah, bro.
Yep.
I love that kind of shit, but you're right. It's kind of tough when other people in the room aren't on the same page. But there's just so much content out there. But the content that angers me the most is like, it's not even the like people that are like preaching dangerous like
Yeah, it's not the
ideals.
heart go out to people.
It's not the heart go out to people because it's like we can't stop those people, and they're out there, and there's a lot of them, and I can't begin to even understand how to fight those people. So I just kind of let it exist and don't worry about it anymore. But it's the people that are like, I guess it's the people that are making the most mundane, soulless, zero creative energy, zero happiness in like all with the intention of making some money or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like personal people in my life that I care about that are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, again, I don't want to like shit on people for liking what they like. I don't, but I can't help but be like, how can you watch this? When any minute
I don't
now,
want to shit on people, but what is literally wrong with
what's
you?
literally wrong with you? Because it's like you really want to sit there and watch them go through Home Depot. Excuse me. And go through Home Depot and fucking look at all the tools.
Just there they are.
Just there they are, man. And then the like there's dude, I want to tell you the name of this channel.
You can do it, dude. You gotta tell me off because
I'm
I
gonna tell
will
you off because
definitely.
I don't want to give these people.
No, it's not
anything.
classy. It's not classy.
Well, and the other thing is like
That's the name of the channel.
it's the type of thing that like if I advertise it here, people are gonna end up liking it, but they're not gonna like it because they're not gonna like it for the right reasons. They're gonna like it because they're sucked into how much of a void of anything it is.
Mm-hmm. What if we're talking about like the same channel?
Dude, if we were talking about the same channel, that would blow my fucking mind.
No, I'm sure we're not, but I will send you one in return.
I'll send you one.
The Soulless Pans.
So these people, like, this might be getting way too close to figuring out what it is, but I will say that they often go to places like Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah.
And be like, oh, let's try out this new clam bake. And we're gonna go in here and maybe we're gonna get some beaver nuggets.
Does this channel rhyme with Willip with Franco?
What is that?
The chant doesn't rhyme with Lexi Phil. Are you talking about Philip DeFranco?
Thanks for listening to the show today, guys.
What if Phil started making content like that? That'd be pretty great. What a great pivot for him.
But the thing is like, you know, Phil can't help but be a personality. Like he has.
It sounded like he just left the room.
Yeah, he has a personality. I can't. It's hard for me to say it on the microphone, but he has a personality.
Yeah, he is too engaging to be able to make. That's honestly
exactly.
Like if you could challenge yourself to make genuinely boring as heck content, that would be funny. If
I could probably start posting stuff where I say almost nothing and just walk around.
But like you'd still have that intention.
That's the thing. And whatever. It could be tooting my own horn. But I can't help but be entertaining. I can't help but try to be entertaining.
Some people are confident enough in themselves that they don't even think about that. And
exactly. Maybe that's what it is that they don't even care if they're entertaining.
Yeah. Like how do you win that lottery in life?
Oh, dude, I talk to my friends about this all the time. Like, how do I remove my self-awareness? How do I stop my critical thinking to the point where it goes beyond critical thinking and into paranoia and fear?
How do you degrow, shrink your prefrontal cortex? That is the...
Like, if you could take away one thing you're good at, and replace it with something like
Yeah.
that, would you do it?
Give me an example. Like, would you like?
So let's say, like, you're a good writer.
Sure.
Let's say, and
Thank
you feel confident in your writing ability, I'm sure.
Feel okay about?
Do you feel, what if you were like, okay, there's some magical genie came to you and said, I'm going to take away your ability to write, but I'm going to give you 0 fucks.
That would be kind of a catch-22. It's kind of a good deal. I don't know. I'm tempted.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that, it's the same. This question keeps coming up for me too, which is the like, if an alien spaceship landed in front of you, and it opened up, and the person inside says, like, gives you a communicado, like, come on in, whether it's like just a hand gesture or some language you understand somehow, would you go in there? Even though you have like family and friends and a wife and a job and responsibilities that could potentially you would never come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you get in there and do that and go away and go to wherever they're going, not even knowing if it's a dangerous situation you're putting yourself in or a scary
I don't think I would feel comfortable.
So would you say, like, I'm sorry, I'm passing, and then they just take off and then that's it, and then you could be able to live with yourself after that, with like, I had an opportunity to do something that no other human could do or can do or will do potentially? Would you be able to like handle? Because that's the other thing.
Because if I got on that ship and it was like, oh, by the way, you're never coming back, I would be like, man, my wife's gonna be pissed. And then I would be like,
I'll never hear the end of it.
I'm never gonna hear the end of it. Would I never come back? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would do it though. I'd be too much of a wuss.
Someone made me laugh. My friend made me laugh. We were having, we just bought ourselves some dinner and we were sitting down to have dinner. And I can't remember what happened. Like, and I was like, there was some really loud sound or something. And I was like, oh shit, we're going to die. It's like, that's the end of the world. We're about to die. Like, fuck, and my friend goes, fuck, we're about to die? Well, I better finish this food. And I'm like,
that's very good. Yeah.
That's a really funny thing to say because it's like, why even bother finishing the food? And he goes like, well, because I bought it. But if the world is ending right now, why?
Yeah.
I'm going to finish my burrito because I'm fucking hungry. But it's like, no, you should go call your loved ones or something, or like go do.
I will after the burrito. Yeah.
I have to finish this burrito. I love how some people react to like really dangerous situations and what they would do, and like the whole like get on the spaceship thing, and and leave Earth, because it's like I'd love to go to another planet and leave Earth, but if I end up leaving all my family behind, they're gonna be so mad at me.
And who are you going to tell the story to?
Maybe Glorp on
Glorp, yeah.
Fliston 5.
Yeah, and Andromeda system.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get the fuck out of here, Elliot.
Yep.
It's called